Welcome to the Mobile Home Park Mastery Podcast, where you will learn how to identify, evaluate, negotiate, perform due diligence on, finance, turn around, and operate mobile home parks. And now, here is your host, the fifth largest mobile home park owner in the United States, Frank Rolfe.
Back before I ever got in the mobile home park business, all the way back in the 1970s, I wanted to work in an ad agency. So I had a summer job for 2 different summers, interning at a big ad agency in Dallas, Texas. And I learned back then how important photography was in selling products. In fact, in those big ad agencies, people who do the photography for food products and other of the various shoots, they're some of the best, most respected and highest paid people in the ad agency. This is Frank Rolfe, the Mobile Home Park Mastery Podcast. We're going to talk about the importance of good photography to sell mobile homes in your park. Now, back in the 70s, everyone was in love with the concept of Nikon cameras. It's hard for young people to even know what I'm talking about, but these were giant, big, heavy-bodied instruments that you took around with a whole bag full of lenses, and you tried to get just the right lens with the right telephoto capabilities and the correct lighting to take masterful photos. And back then, people were really into the art of photography. There were lots of famous photographers, Richard Avedon and others, who made a living off grabbing the old Nikon and taking some wonderful still-framed photography. But then, with the advent of the cell phone, we lost all that. People don't buy cameras anymore. You never see them going around with a camera. Instead, they just whip out their phone, whether it's an Android or an iPhone, and they take pictures with that. But even though it's more convenient, that's for sure, the problem is we've kind of lost as a nation our respect for photography, and that's fine. You probably don't get as many good family pictures as you used to in the olden days. But the real dilemma is that if you own a mobile home park and you're trying to sell mobile homes in your mobile home park, that lack of good photography can really harm you. Because as they say, a picture tells 1,000 words. And if you're trying to sell a mobile home and you're using really bad photos to do so, it's really going to crimp your style. In fact, it might bring your sales momentum to a dead stop. So what do we need to know about taking good pictures of mobile homes? What do your managers need to be, or you, if you're the one doing it, what do you have to know about how to take a competent picture to sell? Well, the first item is the importance of lighting. Because to take a good picture, you have to have the light coming from just the right direction to illuminate whatever it is you're taking the picture of properly. So if this is going to be a picture of something that's in on the side of a house, and it's on the side that only gets light in the morning on that side of the home, then you've got to shoot it in the morning. If we're shooting an interior shot, which looks best when the light comes in from a certain window, and that certain window only gets the light in the afternoon, well then, we have to shoot that in the afternoon. People today are very lazy when it comes to lighting. They just want to shoot it when they want to shoot it. So, whether or not they know that the light needs to be from another direction, they'll just shoot it. Often we'll have managers send us pictures they want to use to sell a home from, where they're trying to shoot the picture right into the direct sunlight. You can't even see what they're taking a picture of because the sunlight is blinding into the lens of their phone, and as a result, all you see is this washed out dark object blob into the glaring sun. So item number 1 is we've got to get the lighting right. We have to stop the laziness on the lighting. Number 2, always take your pictures using the horizontal format of the camera, not the vertical. Horizontal makes things look better. I know we all think, well, but gosh, the vertical is so much easier when you hold your camera. Once again, let's not get lazy. Professionals shoot everything using the horizontal format, not the vertical format. Also, you've got to make sure you're watching the details as you frame the picture. What all can you see in that picture? I'm endlessly amazed when a manager will take a photograph of a kitchen where on the counter is a McDonald's coffee cup with a cigarette stuffed in it, that somehow that is acceptable, because it's not. Nor is it acceptable to take a picture of a home you're trying to sell when there's a poor condition car parked in front of it. No, we need to make the picture after that car has left. So people need to be a little more mindful of all the various items that appear in that picture. All these things tell a story also, and they tend to flavor the picture. So you've got to make sure that you've got everything within that frame that's complementary to what you're shooting. And normally what that means is all those things that bother us, those all need to go. Also, when you're trying to shoot interior shots of mobile homes, which are not very large to begin with, remember that the farther back you are in the room as you shoot the shot, the bigger it makes the room look. If I'm trying to shoot a picture of the living room on into the kitchen, and I want to make it look as cavernous, as giant as possible, I'm going to want to wedge my body up in the corner there, in the one corner of the living room, to give it maximum capability to look big. Yet many managers will simply walk into the room, not step back towards the wall at all, shoot the picture, which makes the living room kitchen combo look insanely small. Now, if your manager is incapable of doing the things I just mentioned, if they don't have no aesthetic sensibility at all, if they can't figure out where the light comes from, if they can't do the details of what all is seen in the frame, if they can't even hold the camera level, or maybe they can't even hold the camera still enough that the photo does not become out blurry, well, you can't just go with that. You're going to have to get a third party then to take the pictures. Now, is it that hard to do? No. You could hire someone on Craigslist to do it for not much money. There's probably somebody else in that person's family or in the park who could just walk over and do it. Some people are aesthetically challenged and are completely incapable of taking competent photographs, but you can't let it ride. You can't say, well, that manager's so good in many different things. Yeah, they take terrible pictures. They're just horrible. You cannot even make out what's in them. Kind of embarrassing, but I'm going to use them anyway. No, you can't be lazy and use that mindset. You've got to have really good looking pictures. And one problem with many parks when the manager takes the shots is that they use a cell phone which does not have the ability to take good shots. Now, I have an iPhone 15, in fact, an iPhone 15 Plus. It takes phenomenal pictures. The clarity, fantastic. The colors, incredible. But if you've got some old Android and you're trying to take those shots or an old iPhone, then you're not going to get what you were hoping for. So sometimes if you want to upgrade the photography, you're going to have to upgrade the manager's phone, or at least, again, find somebody who's got a better phone tool to take those shots. But probably the most important part of having successful photography in your mobile home park is that you need to have a referee to approve all of the pictures. We try and do that at our company because we know the importance of having that great shot if we want to sell the home for a good price. So we are constantly poring over the shots sent in from the managers where they say, oh, here are the photographs for the home we're trying to sell. And we're looking at them, shaking our head in disbelief that they're so incredibly poor quality. At least that gives us the ability to get good pictures and to fix what they were going to submit. Because it's really hard to sell a mobile home with bad pictures. Now, the demand for affordable housing in America, it's giant. It's vast in almost every market. And you can put out an ad and you can get a lot of calls, even if you use poor quality pictures. But as home prices continue to escalate, as all of us are trying to get homes sold to the best customers we can find, the right person for that home who loves it dearly, is willing to go ahead and stay there on an average of 14 years tenancy and make those payments, well, then we've got to go the extra mile and provide them good photographic representations of what they're buying. This is Frank Rolfe, the Mobile Home Park Mastery Podcast. Hope you enjoyed this. Talk to you again soon.
Thank you for listening to the Mobile Home Park Mastery Podcast. Be sure to visit us at mhpmastery.com to subscribe to the show. Read our show transcriptions and access all of our great information on mobile home park investing.